Hi, I'm Job van den Berg. I'm a Dutch furniture and product designer. I'm graduated in 2015 from the Design Academy Eindhoven in the Netherlands as well. After graduation I started my studio, also based in Eindhoven. And from that studio I mainly work on smaller researches, and besides that I also like to work with manufacturers and do a lot of research out of the door. What I find most interesting about is to start working with materials. So it's always the base of my project. I start analyzing a certain material or a machine. Often this fascinates me in a way, and then I try to figure out what is the thing that fascinates me. Then I start experimenting, searching for new ways of using material or machine, always together with a craftsman. They are quite skilled, and they often teach me how they do their profession. And on this road, by learning and understanding material better, I try to also push the boundaries a bit, and then reach a certain idea that can communicate a machine or material. New antiques and classics, for me often it has to do something with making people think and look differently to what we knew already before. So often it's something new, but it doesn't have to be exactly per se new. It can also be something that we value again, like a certain old craft. So when I look at what I think is a good classic, it mostly pushes a bit the boundaries and sets an example for the generations that follow. I always like to use chairs as an example. I collect chairs myself. In the past mainly old icons, easy to see because it was already an icon, and then you see details and like, oh yeah, that's a good icon. But lately also more diving into the contemporary chairs. What I find interesting is that I now have to look closely by myself, because when it's already an icon, easy to find the details, it's more like a puzzle. But now I see a chair and then I try to peel it down and look at it, like how it's produced, what is the idea behind it, what material is used. And often during the peeling, a certain product becomes a bit boring. And then it's for me not a classic anymore. It cannot become a classic, not over time for me, although maybe for somebody else, but not for me. And in a rare occasion, there's a product, and when I keep on peeling, the only new stories arrive. So when I see one detail, then I see another detail. And slowly that chair only becoming more and more interesting for me, to dive in deeper and deeper and deeper. And for future classics, I think the last part is also very interesting and important, that if you look closely and better, that it becomes more and more interesting. And that is an important quality that can be a future classic. Within my design process, I often have a very playful approach. You can also see it with the works around here. This is literally playful. I took toys and crushed them, but also with the more serious pieces like wooden chairs or glass products, I also really like to play. Maybe I use playing as another word for imagination. I think that's, as a designer, very important. If I see something, a certain machine, or it's a big press, or maybe it's a turning bench for glass that's welds, or a craftsman that uses his tools in a beautiful way, then imagination triggers new possibilities, and those new possibilities are often, for me, kind of small gateways to explore and explore and explore. And during the exploration, I often find things that I find interesting, and that I try to steer in a direction, and in the end it results in a product.